will convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep him from disco, warn about San Francisco, make him wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children, we'll make them tolerant and fair.
At first I didn't get why you'd be so scared of us turning your children into accepting, caring people, but I see now why you'd have a problem with that.
Just like you worried, they'll change their group of friends. You won't approve of where they go at night to protests. Oh, and you'll be disgusted. So gross. When they start finding things online that you've kept far from their sight. Like information. Guess what? You'll still be alright. We'll convert your children, yes we will.
Reaching one and all, there's really no escaping it.
'Cause even grandma likes RuPaul.
And the world's getting kinder.
Gen Z's gayer than Grindr. Learn to love, learn to vogue, face your fate. We'll convert your children. Someone's gotta teach them not to hate. We're coming for them.
We're coming for your children.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Happy Freedom Day. Thank you, Tom Hanks. Your sacrifice was not in vain. We salute you. I'll get back to the choir, my friends. I'll get back to the choir. I just needed an intro song. A nice, comfortable intro song to start the stream off on the right foot so that everyone on YouTube knows that I love homosexuals in the state of Israel more than anyone else alive. I would sacrifice 100,000, 1,000,000, 10 million American soldiers to defend Israel and gay rights. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, see it as the #1 priority, not just of all freedom-loving people, but of the entire human race. I received a strike for hate speech last week. I don't know why. There wasn't like an actual timestamp in my video so I could see what I would said. It's just like a general strike applied at random. But it's probably deserved, because even though we all try our best every day to love Israel and gay people and the LGBTQIAP plus every day, we can always improve. We can always take time to reflect on these situations and elevate ourselves. I just realized that we are at half the concurrent viewers that we usually are. I wonder if that's because I did not set the stream. Maybe everyone just hates me now. Everyone says, this Josh guy, that last stream I watched, that was fucking awful. I'm never watching this again. But I don't know. I'm a little bit insecure about this. What do you think happened, guys? Well, to be fair, I didn't set the stream up yesterday. I usually do it like a day in advance and let people set notifications. We'll see if it picks up. It might just be my fault. I'm willing to. I'm a very conspiratorial person. I hate the Antichrist, right? But I'm willing to accept that I'm a retard. I'm a retarded person, and I make mistakes. Anyways, plant update. Plant update first, and then I don't have this written out, so I know what to say. But I'll just wing it. Okay, here's the plant update from July 2nd. And as you can see, everything's going well. My banana peppers growing, starting to turn into little pepper babies. My dill is perhaps the single most retarded fucking plant that has ever been planted and grown ever. Basically autistic as far as plants are concerned. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Peas, oregano, mint. Those are still tiny, but the basil has escaped tininess and is now big. And now, a week later, here we are, July 9th, and the banana peppers are getting really big. They're starting to be more banana peppery. The thyme is growing like a weed, which is great because I love the smell of thyme. The dill is like full fucking retard. I've tried to actually like hang it up in such a way that it will maybe grow straight, and it just refuses to. But the parsley is doing pretty well, and the basil is growing into a beautiful jar of pesto. One day I'll be able to harvest the entire thing and eat it with olive oil and bread, and enjoy the fruits of my labor. There is one more addition to the garden, by the way. Something has grown in the garden which I was not anticipating. It is a pigeon. Here we have a picture of a pigeon. This pigeon has, for whatever reason, decided to live in one of my banana peppers, and he just sits there. And if you look at the dirt, there is literally like a pigeon-shaped dent in the dirt because he just sleeps there. I think, I don't know if he's nesting or what. There's not like a nest being built. It's just like a pigeon. Here's the other pigeon. There's now 2 pigeons. And they sit there, and I tried to set up like a box so they wouldn't sleep in my fucking banana peppers and eat my peppers. They're gonna sit there like Roman emperors and have banana peppers lowered into their beaks like they're fucking gods on earth, because of my hard work to foster these plants. And they're just gonna move in like this and just eat my fucking plants, and I don't know what to do about them. The worst thing is that I'll be sitting there, and I'll be sleeping, and I'll be like 8 in the fucking morning, as if I live. By the way, in case you're wondering what my living situation is like, I have moved into an active construction site, and for the last like forever, there has been ongoing construction where it's like the pipes in the bathroom vibrate every fucking morning for like 6 hours straight, and they have been working on the first floor to build whatever the fuck for goddamn a year at least. And it's just like, how long does it take to build like a commercial building? And why does it take so long? It's literally been like a year straight. And now, on top of that, I hear every morning, purr, 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 and it drives me fucking mad. It drives me so fucking mad. And I lived somewhere else that had a bunch of pigeons outside the goddamn window that would go purr, every morning, and there was like 100 of them. There was like a random brick wall. I don't know if it was destroyed in a war or whatever, but there was like a random brick wall outside my window, and it served no purpose except allowing 100 pigeons to sit there every morning and go and wake me up at early morning hours, which I as a person am not built for. I do not exist to wake up before the sun is in like the highest position in the sky. But this is my life now. I've planted these banana peppers so that these pigeons can wake me up in the middle of the fucking morning. I hope that they're just sleeping there. If they lay like an egg, I can't like kill a pigeon baby. So then I'm just gonna have to deal with the fact that I now have a pigeon baby in my pot. And I guess they can have a pepper. They can have one of my peppers, but that's it. You can't take any more than one. And since I'm on the Pleroma instance, by the way, at kiwifarms.cc, in case you want to join better than Twitter, I've decided to look into what my future as a trad husbando will be like and watch the Stepford Wives from 2004. And I have 2 clips from this that I will play now for the enjoyment of my audience. I'll start with this one because it's shorter.
Yeah, I've got a great idea for another hot new show.
Well, tell it to us.
It's called Let's Kill All the Women.
I'll play that one first to get the audience on my side after mentioning that I watched the Stepford Wives from 2004. Now I'll play this clip because this is also really inadvertently funny.
It is provocative, but it is also inspiring. The Heritage Hills Special Edition Golden Deluxe Treasury of Christmas keepsakes and collectibles.
Wait for it. It's coming up. Give it a second, chat. Bear with me.
This book said to me, let's celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ with yarn. Now, Bobby, we all realize you're probably feeling a bit uncomfortable with this week's book because you're, what's the word I'm looking for?
New? Scared?
Cranky?
Jewish.
Same thing.
But the Heritage Hill series is very inclusive. In fact, there is a whole chapter about Hanukkah.
I just love the chapter on pine cones. They're not just for wreaths and centerpieces.
You can use pine cones to create a very special Yuletide menorah.
Your pine cone snowman could be Jewish. Just add one of those little beanies.
Or maybe I could just use hundreds of pine cones to spell out the words Big Jew in letters 15 feet tall in the snow on my front yard. That's a wonderful idea.
So needless to say, I'm very attracted to the whole, like, trad life. This has really brought me in. By the way, as a great lover of the state of Israel, I love to patronize the arts and crafts of the Jewish people. This movie has a Jewish director, 4 Jewish producers, a Jewish screenplay writer, and the book, The Stepford Wives from 1974, is also written by someone named Levine, who is Jewish. So it is probably the most pro-Israel movie I've ever seen. And I can really tell that they have some harsh criticisms of non-Jews living together and raising families. I never would have suspected. But you know, obviously, the main character, who is Nicole Kidman, immediately makes friends with the homosexual couple and the Jewish lady from that clip, and they are the counterculture to the horrific, oppressive Stepford society. Which, by the way, it's not even like a spoiler to say this. This is my movie review segment of this fucking episode, by the way. But because it's only like there should be like a twist, I guess, to this movie. Like, it looks perfect, but it's actually not, right? Like, that's the whole thing. But in the actual way they film it, it's obvious from the get-go that all of the women are just like sex robots, and it's on the IMDb description for this movie. So there is no like surprise that there is like the women are sex robots. It's just how it is. And of course, the Jewish woman is turned into a sex robot, and it's so horrific because before she lived in filth and was a career woman, but after she was replaced by this blonde-haired sex robot, she cleaned the house and took care of her children, and it's really just quite horrific. I can't imagine anything worse than that. So, a very enlightening movie. I'd actually suggest it to anyone who wants to wants to win a debate with their more regressive family members. Okay. Oh, we are up to 1K view. Okay, my schizophrenia has subsided. I feel satisfied by the numbers on my screen now. Let us continue. Thanks, Rabbi Min. You're welcome. Speaking of money, by the way, speaking of money handling, I did something, and I didn't realize that what I was doing was such a controversial subject, but apparently it is. Chris, as in like Chris Chan, contacted me out of the blue and said, like, I'm going to Everest Northwest. Is it Everfree Northwest? I think it is Everfree Northwest. And it's like, oh, Evergreen Northwest. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is that? So I look it up, and it is a My Little Pony convention. The problem is that it's taking place in... My gain is fine. I see... I'm not peeking into red. If I am, it's briefly. But the interesting thing about Evergreen Northwest is that it's a My Little Pony convention that's taking place in Seattle, as in, like, Seattle, Washington. And if you don't know too much about Chris, he lives in Ruckersville, Virginia. And if you don't know anything about the United States... Ruckersville, Virginia, and Seattle are separated by about 40 hours of driving. The entire Midwest Badlands, like half of the trip is just driving through Montana. And then you have to cross the Rocky Mountains. It is Everfree Northwest. My bad. I spelled it wrong in the GoFundMe then. I'm a retard. I should have double-checked that, I guess. So I said to Chris, who intended on driving that by himself to Seattle in like a beat up minivan that's like 20 years old. I said, Chris, you cannot do this. You will die. You will die. You will be stranded in the middle of Montana on the side of a mountain, and you will die. And I said, okay, we have to sort out some sort of alternative arrangement between this. So I considered getting him a train ticket because I've seen Review Bra, and I know that Amtrak still does cross-continental trains. I thought, oh, that'd be cool. Chris could do like little video updates, like, oh, here I am on the train. You know, autistic people love trains. It's a perfect fit. But then I found out that to get a cabin, like a private cabin, which would be the entire point, like, why would you want to sit in a fucking like airplane seat for a train ride that's going to take 3 days if it, you know, if the whole point is that you don't want to be like cramped. So the private cabins are like $1,000 like for each way, and that's like 3 times as high as just getting a plane ticket. So I was like, okay, well, fuck that, let's get a plane ticket. The issue is that Chris has never flown ever, and flying right now is not particularly easy. And you know, I don't hate Chris or anything, but I would feel bad to put Chris on a plane next to someone for 8 hours because it's an 8-hour long flight to fly from Virginia to Seattle. But that's the most practical way of getting Chris there, you know? So, okay, we'll get a plane ticket then. So, I went ahead and, see, this is what people keep saying. He's your lol cow, you're his cash cow. I'm not giving Chris any money, is the thing. I set up a GoFundMe, and I say, look, Chris, I'll set this up for you. I'll set reasonable goals. I will set reasonable rewards, and you'll do them. And if you don't do them, and you don't deliver to people what they've paid for in a reasonable amount of time, at a reasonable, expectable level of quality, I can't help you with anything like this ever again, because I'm not going to co-sign something that I don't have any confidence you'll complete. And Chris seems to have an understanding that, you know, there's an expectation that he'll follow through. So I've set it up all nice. That's $40 for a shout out video, $40 for a drawing of a character, $60 for both. And if you want it delivered to your address, you also have to add in $5 just for postage and shit. And it's like, okay. So I've gotten a couple of the orders. Chris says he's working on them, and I hope it works out, because I don't mind helping Chris, you know, support himself. And I think he can do it if he had some sort of system like this that he could, you know, be expected to work at. But the catch is that Chris has to do it. There is no sometimes or whatever. If I'm selling, you know, if I'm helping him sell drawings at $40 each, and shout out videos and cameos and stuff at $40 each, that's a lot of money. People are going to expect that they get what they paid for. So I made that very clear. Like, Chris, there is a way forward, and I have confidence that you could do well for yourself. You could live comfortably and have, you know, be able to not be homeless. But you have to, when people give you money, you have to give them what they paid for. So this is my test run of that. It's $1,000 is the goal. I'm not asking anyone to give him any money. I don't know why people assume that I'm giving him money. I don't know why people assume I'm asking them for their money. If you're listening to this, you're not the target audience. The target audience are the people who really like Chris as a phenomenon and who follow him on Twitter and watch the Geno Samuel videos. And that's a completely separate audience from Matt at the Internet. That's a completely separate audience from the Kiwi Farms. I'm not asking you for your cash. I'm not asking you to donate to Chris. This is to see if Chris can establish a business relationship with people who do like him and do want him to do well. And people get angry at me, and it's like, I don't understand, you know, your anger. People say to Chris constantly, Chris, get a job. Well, this is what a job looks like. You especially when you're self-employed, you put out a product and if people buy it, you fulfill the product. And if you're doing a good job, you'll be able to make enough money doing that. I think he has a better chance of succeeding this way than he does trying to get a job at like Ruby Tuesdays as like a busboy. You know what I mean? I don't think that Chris could ever function in that kind of an environment, because he's already tried. He already tried working at like a Wendy's and stuff. And he got fired from Wendy's because he had an episode with like a little boy who was there, and he scared the little boy and got fired for it, for misconduct. So if Chris is going to work in any capacity, it's going to be working like this, I think. And I really, I just don't understand the anger that some people have towards me for trying to help them. The GoFundMe, he tweeted out on his Twitter if you want to go find it. I don't have a link for it. I'm not going to post it. And I don't want, like, I'm not asking for, like, Chris's pity bucks. I want people who genuinely want things from him, who are interested in what he does to want to pay him in exchange for goods and services. I don't want handouts. And a lot of people are opting to. So I'm excited to see if Chris can follow the workload. Basically, I'm hoping that he will surpass expectations with this. And so far, when I asked, like, hey, make a picture, do a drawing to show people what your drawing is like, and he made. I'll throw it up. Actually, I have it here. He drew, when I asked him that, he drew this, and this is Chris as a CPU goddess flying to Seattle. Some exaggeration here. He cannot literally fly to Seattle. He has to pay for a plane ticket like other people. But it is a nice picture. It's exactly what I expected. It wasn't like half-assed or anything. That's how Chris draws. And I also, as a bonus, because I said, draw one that's like a character so that people know when they buy a character drawing what that looks like. So he drew one of, let me just put it up first before I explain what it is. This is my pony Sona, courtesy of Chris. He has the little Kiwi cutie mark, of course. Just so you know, this was entirely Chris's idea. I do not actually have a pony Sona that I requested he draw. So it's a 100% Chris-inspired pony Sona. And it's like, okay, that's perfect. So that's the image on the GoFundMe. It's like, if you buy a character drawing, you'll get something along these lines. And if you're not willing to expect that, and some variation of that, for better or for worse, because it's Chris, it might be really fucking weird. It might surpass your expectations. It might not be exactly what you wanted. It's kind of like a gacha machine. You're putting in, $40, and hopefully you'll get something you're happy with. Hopefully you'll get something that you're more than happy with. But you might get something really fucking weird too. So consider it a gamble to some extent. And that's the Chris update. Actually, you know what? Before I move on from this, let me just read some of the comments, because the comments on I asked him to make a video too, and he did. The video's on his YouTube channel. My favorite part is where Chris says that he's overpowered, which is a weird way to describe yourself. Overpowered. But the comments are interesting. Bro, get it from Soviet Moxie. So this is like a Soviet communist. Bro, get a job. Money doesn't grow on trees. Let me sort by top, actually. That way I'll make sure I'll get some winners. There's one, it's just a girl named Emily, and she made a post saying, "There is no word in the dictionary that describes my hatred for you." So I replied with the account saying, "You should get a therapist." To which she replied, "You should stop begging for money." To which I replied, "If you beg for money, maybe you could afford a therapist." Is it bad to laugh at your own jokes? Supposedly, right? A lot of people saying, like, why don't you offer commissions or cameos? So it's just like, okay, go look at the GoFundMe. There's offers for commissions and cameos. The most popular comment is, "It has been 0 days since Chris begged for money." Weeaboo Avatar says, "She's so fucking hot." Kelly-chan Kanahashi says, "I'm an artist and I'm not supporting you." Shouldn't you be paying off your house? Actually, the house is in Barbara's name. Please don't hug people, especially now. A lot of people said, why not fly there with your godlike powers? Like, You got him. You figured out that Chris can't actually fly. And they actually think that that's like a huge fucking gotcha. I can't even believe it. Chris, you're a goddess. Can't you summon all that money yourself? You need. Oh, this is by Princess Emily too. She left several comments. You need to be institutionalized. She needs to get a therapist. Oh well. It's actually already halfway at its goal, so I'm sure I can't. Like it, I've been reading the comments all fucking day. It's at 5:45. I set the goal at $1,000, and it's already there after a couple hours. If it gets funded, I can't wait. I'm gonna read the comments all fucking day because they get really, really, really salty. One was like, Chris's GoFundMe is already halfway there. Chris wins at capitalism, which I found amusing. Nolan, the nanny squad, can't protect Big Baby forever. You're gonna leave your mother by herself. She is too old. You know that. Frowny face. Good stuff. I'll give you $20 if you prove to me that you took a shower. Be careful what you ask for, sir. All right. Next. What's next? Sorry, my notes are disjointed today. Today, we'll be talking about sneed-acity. If you've ever heard of Audacity, you already know what sneed-acity is. Let me get a sip of water, actually. Oh, yeah. It is like a dark-skinned pony that glows. Is Chris calling me like a fed? Is that what's happening? Am I being outed? Is the nose exposed? Oy vey. Okay, so a company called, well, there is a software project called Odysee. If you've ever worked with audio in any way, shape, and form, you probably know what Odysee is already. Odysee is very popular. It is a very simple, straightforward, open source, free to use audio and recording editing device, and it's just like a de facto standard for open source audio. And it was recently acquired, as all great open source software projects are, by a private company called Muse. And within 4 days of being acquired by Muse, Odysee adds in telemetry, or telemetry. I guess telemetry is like the British way of saying it, but it sounds fancier. Kind of like how I like to say harassment as harassment. I like the word harassment better, even though I don't like the British. But for telemetry, if you don't know, is when your computer program sends like phones home. It calls a like a remote server, and it gives details about how it's being used, if it crashes, what the crash was, that kind of stuff. And it's pretty standard these days. It's like more and more people are adding telemetry to programs to get feedback. Windows, like that's the big thing about Windows. A lot of people like to use Windows 8 or Windows 7 or whatever still, because Windows 10 and especially Windows 11 are just like rigged with like 40 different kinds of telemetry and advertising data and all sorts of shit. That nobody should ever want to have their computer, their operating system spying on them with. So naturally, when this telemetry is being added to Odysee, there's a big outrage, and I'll read a message from the Odysee repo on GitHub. Hi everyone, I'm going to describe the actions we propose to take to address the concerns raised about PR 835, opt-in telemetry using Google and Yandex as third-party host. The main issue here was a pull request to add a thing that looks like this, saying like, do you consent to help us improve Odysee by sending anonymous analytics data? That is a telemetry consent, and I'm sure you see it all the fucking times. I open a video game now, and it's like, do you want to help us make this video game better? Do you opt in for telemetry? And it's like, fuck off. But the reaction to this was extremely, overwhelmingly negative. You see down here that there are 249 thumbs up, and 4,000 or 3,425 thumbs down. So for every thumbs up, there was what's that, like 15 thumbs down. So overwhelmingly people who saw this said, fuck this. This company buys this product and immediately starts to add this bullshit, which we never had in Audacity, never needed in Audacity, and do not want in Audacity. And so, as the open source community does, when these problems with management arise, it created forks. And among the many forks of Audacity created by people who wanted to keep their code telemetry free, there was one called Temporary Audacity by a maintainer called Cookie Monster. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how I want to present this information. I have to be very careful here. So Temporary Audacity is now called Tenacity, and that's because Cookie Monster wanted to rename the project, and so in the fair and free spirit of open source software, created a poll asking people, what do you want to name our new Temporary Audacity? And one of the options on the poll, suggested by a commenter responding to the issue, was Sneed-acity. And Sneed-acity was added to the list of options, and as a result, Sneed-acity just so happened to win by a massive blowout. Now, there is some speculation that the Computer and Technology Board on 4chan, called G, tampered with the fair and open election, which, by the way, it's still democracy. I've learned over the last couple of years that if you have a democratic situation and you just add in more fucking people from a different place that just want to vote one way, that's actually still democracy and it's completely fair. So, fair and square, Sneed-acity won, and in a runoff vote, Sneed-acity won again. Now, the Cookie Monster did not want to name the project Sneed-acity. He did not expect Sneed-acity to have the kind of blue-collar support, the silent white majority vote, which it enjoyed. And so he threw a bit of a fit, and he released a statement in the following days, alleging quite a bit. As there is an archive here, Audacity fork maintainer quits after alleged harassment by 4chan losers who took issue with Tenacity name. Pseudonymous engineer claims people were coming to his house. Oh boy, that is a bit of a scary thing. So let me just read his statement. Disclaimer. Oh, sorry, his name is Cookie Engineer, not Cookie Monster. Disclaimer. I really thought long about this, and I haven't slept in 2 days due to ongoing harassments of 4chan. At first, people were literally arriving at my place of living, where they knocked on my doors and windows to scare us. I am hereby officially stepping down as maintainer of this project. 4chan thinks I cannot code C, so they win. 4chan thinks I'm unfit to lead this project, so they win. 4chan successfully bullied me out in order to have their fucked up Sneed-acity fork. A fork that was finally created with blood, quite literally. I give up, I don't care. The safety of my family is worth more. Oh, let me put this on the screen, actually. The safety of my family is worth more than an open source project. They found out my address via a YouTube video where someone was posting my nickname combined with my real legal name, which meanwhile got taken down due to my asking. The incident report happened shortly after 11 p.m. Central European Daylight Time today, and the police took over this case. I will discuss this further in our private as of now communication channels with other people that helped out here so far, and what will let you know of a successor. Please, if you have the time, report the github.com/sneedsfeedandseed/Sneed-acity project to GitHub as a hate speech, violent, and harassment insinuating project. Report every single member contributing to this fork because they were part of the harassment movement against me and my family. They are cyber terrorists, not cringe cancel kiddos. They physically tried to harm me in real life, and this has gotten out of hand. 4chan people made up stories about me posting here, posting there, faking screenshots, calling out even themselves as cookie faggot. That's a quote, by the way, YouTube. Don't you dare. Because they cannot verify any source of information they use as source of truth for their executive actions. I never posted on 4chan, and I never will. This website is the most disgusting place in the whole world. Hey now. I think that another website is more disgusting. And I think all people that are active in G should be put in jail and ashamed of themselves for making the world a worse place than it already is. They are physically harming people in real life. Beware of anything you do before trying to do the right thing. This is not cancel culture. This is not Anon. This is tyranny, oppression, and senseless physical violence, something the Anon movement never stood for in the beginning. When people were posting like dead little girls on B and shit and like faxing child pornography to like the FBI in the early days of the internet, that was just like, you know, Anon never stood for any of that. I never saw any people doing horrific things. I never saw like decapitated women on anonymous image boards before people on G started sneeding a little bit too hard. In case people didn't follow what happened, here are the threads with lots of fake shit posts, fake screenshots, defamations, and whatnot. The relevant 4chan threads about sneedacity, which is equivalent for harassing me. Okay, if you even try to fork Audacity and name it sneedacity, you're directly contributing to the mental breakdown of this fucking person. I knew from the start that I wanted to not govern this project, as all other invited members of this organization already knew. I believe this project can succeed by embracing an open governance model, and I think that my actions were morally correct and the right thing to do. I am in contact with GitHub and the German BKA, the federal police, as of now. Therefore, I will not disclose any more information publicly about what has happened to anyone. Evidence has been gathered, submitted, and will be acted upon. I will not legally let go of this. When another more fitting project lead has been elected by the team, I will let you know here. I will revoke my own vote on this matter. Thank you for your understanding, even though it has been a horrible journey for me so far. He's alleging, and I thought it was in this, but he is literally alleging that I guess a kraut, a random German Anon, as he says, a random sneed poster. Where do sneed posters in Germany come from? I guess they're from the south, right? Like they're from Bavaria or Saxony. So a random sneed poster from Saxony drove up to this guy's house and shanked him. Literally, I think he literally claimed somewhere that he was stabbed as a result of not naming tenacity sneedacity. Der Sneed. And I don't know. I guess you could probably post evidence of that. He just kind of sounds like a paranoid schizophrenic, and this was I genuinely thought reading this that he was British until he said the German police were involved. So anyways, let's get to the good stuff. This is sneedacity. They're actually fixing things. They're doing a good job. They have some modifications. As you can see, the README has a different style to it. And if you compile sneedacity, oh yeah, it's forged from blood. That's a little bit different. Most projects are written in like a programming language, but this one's actually compressed blood harvested from an autist on a different project. So are these files really called .docs? What the fuck? Is that in the original project? Yeah, they're there too. Oh my god, they have .docs files in sneedacity. Well, this is proof of doxing right here. I see a nographs.docs, a sneedacity.docs. This is all the evidence that GitHub should need to dig down this project. If you boot up Sneedacity, the Audacity logo has like a check hat on it. So really just a wonderful project here that they're working hard on fixing issues. See, there's lots of issues. There's pull requests, all being managed professionally without being stabbed by or reporting to the German police. Docs is an auto document source file. Well, the more you know. But yeah, that is your open source project update for the week. Every week, another open source project maintainer loses their fucking mind. Since I'm thinking of it, oh god, this is a weird story. So in the early days of the KiwiFarms.cc, we run Pleroma. It was an executive decision by Crunklord420 to not use the more because the way that the Fediverse works is it uses a protocol called ActivityPub. An ActivityPub is not a specific application; it's like a design spec. So as long as your program follows the ActivityPub design spec, you can write it in whatever language you want. You can change it however you want. It just has to do these specific things to be ActivityPub. So Mastodon is a ActivityPub front end and back end written in PHP. Pleroma, which we use on KiwiFarms.cc, is written in JavaScript entirely. And Pleroma was written or maintained by a wonderful transgender individual who we tried to talk to, and we were very nice to him. I don't think anyone was mean to him, but a lot of people on their side who basically the origins of the Fediverse is that they wanted a more woke Twitter. They wanted a place without Nazis. They literally, the whole driving purpose of Mastodon was to make a Twitter without Nazis, basically, which is just ridiculous. Twitter is as fucking sanitized as you could ever hope for. So they make this open source project where anyone can talk to anyone on the internet. And of course, it gets co-opted by the people who are actually being censored, which is people who say anything that's not completely 100% kosher. And surprise, surprise, we have issues with them. And this project manager quits open source like entirely, gives up entirely on the Fediverse, gives up entirely on Pleroma. I think Pleroma is now managed by like Grant Lynham, who is like a turf icon guy from the UK. And to this day, I can't remember. I think their name was Kenai or something. It was like a bunny. And as like their icon. And to this day, they're on Twitter bitching about how the Kiwi Farms ruined open source for them and how it should be shut down, and how open source is a lost cause because if you make things open source and don't control it with an iron fist, then it will be used by the far right and ruined. Anyway. Dude, the guy spamming in chat, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea who Thomas is. The Thomas dude who said KF murdered his great-grandmother was on a live stream with Jolly Heretic. Okay, I don't know anything about that. You have to, like, make a post or something. I'm not going to pull it up now. Okay, Ralph as well is having drama. I can actually talk about this because there's no video involved. So Ralph, in his infinite wisdom, and I guess I'll hide this because I see a phone number, and I don't want to put a phone number out there and get dinged. But Ralph, in his infinite wisdom, has an issue with Matthew Vickers, who is the father of his baby's mama. And there's a similar Chris-style adventure happening with Ralph. For Chris wants to go to Seattle from Virginia to attend a Brony convention. And that will cost like $2,000 tops, considering all expenses. Meanwhile, Ethan Ralph is in a custody battle from Virginia with baby mama and baby mama dada in, I think, California, like some weird city, like Sacramento, I want to say. Probably wrong on Sacramento, but they're there. So there's a similar conflict where Chris is trying to spend $2,000 to get to Seattle, and Ralph is trying to spend a fraction of his income for the next 18 years trying to fight for custody of this baby, who apparently wants to talk to Ralph, but little baby Xander, wants to talk to Ralph every day, but baby mama dada Matthew Vickers has seized her phone. Faith Vickers, the baby mama, is a adult. She's like 20 now. Like, she's either 19 or 20. She's a full-grown fucking adult who could easily leave her father's house at any time she chooses and take her kid with her. She has no obligation whatsoever to stay in California. But there's somehow this drama. Ralph is posting messages from Matthew Vickers on Twitter in a fit of rage. By the way, when he was having his little tantrum, talking about how the forum is like stalking and harassing his unborn baby, and saying that that I use the forum as like a personal army against him, because I'm so invested in harming Ralph. I really have to do everything in my power to set him back, even a little bit. While he's doing that, he's actively posting the text messages from his stepfather. Not stepfather. What do you call? I guess stepfather. No, father-in-law. That's the word. his father-in-laws. Well, they're not married, but if they were married, it would be a father-in-law. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Baby mama dada Matthew Vickers posting his text messages on Twitter. To try and personal army against him, because he's including the fucking like phone number and everything. It's your call, California coin merchant. Give Faith internet access back, or we're gonna have a special kill stream tomorrow evening. Do as I say. I am going to extort you. Do as I say, or I'm going to slander you on my fucking bullshit retarded live stream that nobody fucking watches. He says in the messages to Matthew Vickers, I'm sure my old man will have a chuckle when he looks down that day. Be well. How's it going, big guy? He says. Matthew replies, do not contact me unless you need instructions on how to return Faith's property. You worthless, stupid drunk. To which Ralph replies, I'll tell you what I told your wife. You can either let Faith talk to me with baby, as she has every day since December, or we can put this all out into the public sphere tomorrow evening. That is literal textbook extortion. I would here's my offer. I'm gonna subvert Ralph here. I'm gonna destroy Ralph with my kind offer. I am willing to testify that Ralph's audience is vicious and insane, and Ralph himself is vicious and insane, and a normal person could construe this as extortion. I'll tell you what I told your wife. You can let Faith talk to me with baby, as she has every day since December, or we can throw this out into the public sphere tomorrow evening. I'd like reasonable heads to prevail. Do as I say. But if you persist in this manner, that's what's going to happen. The fake letter you had her sign, the fake charges you out her up to, the works, it's all coming out. The photos she's been sending me daily. Now, we don't have to do this. It's your call, but it's going to happen if you don't do the right thing. And he deleted them, because of course he did. And then puts out more tweets in reply. The trolls have this idea. I haven't seen my son. I have, actually. I've seen him every day since he's been born. His mother, Faith, sent me pics and kept me updated daily. I've talked to him many times. He's a newborn, but okay. Tonight, her parents have apparently confiscated her phone. Again, I've talked to Faith every day since December. Tonight, her account was deleted, and her father is refusing to let me speak to her or my son. He's a controlling snake, and I have a lot more evidence on that score. I also have a ton of pictures of my baby Xander. He says Alexander, but it's actually named Xander. I'm not going to put any of this out at this point. The reason we haven't is because of the stalkers out there. It's funny how when you put everything out into the public sphere and people talk about it, that's stalking. But if he puts everything out into the public sphere and people talk about it, but they do things that he likes, like make Matthew Vickers upset, then it's not stalking. It's actually totally normal and fine behavior. But when you tweet this shit and people make fun of it, that's stalking and harassment. But the truth is, the most dangerous person to him is grandfather Matthew Vickers. So Matthew Vickers, the grandfather, is more dangerous than the Kiwi farms, which is probably true because Matthew Vickers has physical access to him, and the Kiwi farms can only see what is posted by Ethan Ralph directly on the fucking internet. This does not have a phone number, so I'll put the screen back up. Vickers says, remember to get your facts straight. My civil attorney has been looking for an excuse, and since nothing you've said above is true, defamation is fun. He should be going for extortion already. Remember when I told you the day was going to come when Yo understood how I kicked your ass so thoroughly? This is that day, Vickers. Your daughter hates you and tells me that all the time. We laughed at you, moron. I'm laughing now, and you're going to lose. No one likes a snake of your sort. You should know by now, in more ways than one, you can't abort the retort. That is the cringiest fucking thing I could ever imagine saying. That's like, I don't even want to put it into words. I don't even want to like articulate how fucking cringy that is. It's like me bringing up, like if I got some chick pregnant and then I told her dad that you can't take down the Kiwi farms. Like it makes my blood run cold. I get like chills. I'm literally breaking out into a cold sweat thinking of this horrific reality that I'm imagining Ralph is in right now. We're to the point where on the phone with the father of his baby's mother, telling him you can't abort the retort. That's all he has to throw at him. That's the crown of his entire life, and nothing matters to him more than you can't abort the retort. Ooh. It literally does. I can feel it. I'm in a hot ass fucking room, but all of a sudden, my blood is ice cold. I had to delete the original tweet. Don't harass anyone. I don't encourage that. He's looking for bullshit to make up or spin, so I had to edit out the numbers. He censored the screenshot. Ralph knows damn well that he put that out there so that the tweets would be archived on the Kiwi farms and Vickers' number would be out there. So he can then backtrack it and say that he didn't mean to do that. Here's the second censored screenshot, because I'm not hiding anything, and a photo of Faith and Xander from this week. So there is a picture of the baby, because he has to show that off, and I don't know who that's supposed to be, like the picture of. Is that like his Snapchat picture? Is that thing? That looks like Nick Rekieta. That does not look like Ralph. If Ralph thinks he looks like that, he's deeply, deeply mistaken. Faith, you don't have to listen to this bully. A lot of people would help you get away from this creep. I have plenty of resources myself. We'll see what happens, but I want the world to know that this scumbag Vickers is really up to. I'll talk tomorrow. Sad situation. He really is like helpless, where he has to like beg his audience from the kill stream, please help me. My child bride has been grounded. my high school age girlfriend is not allowed to come out on dates anymore because she's grounded, and I need the help of the internet to reverse this executive parental decision and allow me access to my son. Please, internet, please, Ralph Nails, help me out. I'm in some fucking dire straits there. Beautiful. When I made my little post, my little diary post on the Kiwi Farms, talking about how I'm turning 30 in a couple years and I feel like my life should be progressing to the next stage, I never thought that this would be the outcome. It really is like a fucking butterfly effect. You make one little post, you think your ideas, you write them down, you go, mwah, goodbye ideas, you send them out there on the internet, and then all of a sudden, you know, Ethan Ralph has spawned a demon child who is on lockdown because his coin merchant grandfather has denied his mother access to the internet because she's grounded. Wonderful. Excellent. Perfect. Astounding. All right. Now, let's continue that song as I promised.
Your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. Then soon we're almost certain your kids will start converting you. The gay agenda is coming home.
So this was posted, right? And in a couple, I think it was like less than a day, it was deleted from the internet, if you could believe that. This is a wonderful message. I support it 100%. I could never think of anything more worthwhile to do as an influencer here, quote-unquote influencer on quote-unquote YouTube, than to support the message of the San Francisco Gay Male Choir. All children should be converted to homosexuality, and I love the state of Israel. So, as a consequence of putting up this video, they took it down and then they posted this message, and this is an apology video. I don't even know what to call this, so I'll just read it. Let me get a little sip. Oh, someone says that when they're on the blue background like this and they're all lined up, it looks like pedophile mugshots. That's someone's flipped ahead in the notes here. On July 1st, we posted message from the gay community to SFGMC TV and across social media. It was chosen because of how loved it was when we performed it live here in San Francisco, at Pride, at Singouts, in South Carolina, and at the Pride Showcase. This piece was commissioned by the Oakland Symphony, who shared it with us. So, like, this what you just heard was applauded, loved in San Francisco at Pride, Singouts, South Carolina, the Pride Showcase, and was commissioned directly by the Oakland Symphony. So keep that in mind. The far-right conservative media found our message video and have taken it as their cause. This all happened in the last 24 hours, and it continues to pick up steam. They have taken the lyrics out of context to support a narrative that suits their intolerant and hateful needs. It is obvious the tongue-in-cheek humor is lost on many. As a result, we have seen the user comments on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram become increasingly alarming. Emails to individuals in the chorus office are vitriolic, including, of course, threats of harm. We feel the first action we must take to keep everyone involved with the chorus and the making of this video safe is to turn the video to private. We are communicating with law enforcement. Law enforcement is not a hyphenated word, both locally and nationally. We will not threaten, and we will follow legal steps to act on those threats. We will always accept others who may hold different values, but when violence is in their choice of expression, since 1969, we have not backed down. After decades of children being indoctrinated and taught intolerance of anyone who is other, from using the Bible as a weapon to reparative therapy, it's our turn. We have dedicated ourselves to being role models, teaching and spreading the message of love, tolerance, and celebration through our music. Our second action is to work to control the narrative. Well, that's your primary action. The video is being illegally copied and placed on YouTube, Instagram, and other websites. Others have the right to follow fair use laws, but that is not what is happening here. Therefore, our social media and marketing staff are working around the clock to alert moderators at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and to file DMCAs, takedown of websites featuring stolen content. So far, this has been very successful. Well, isn't that great? I'm so glad that our copyright laws allow for this to be put up and then yanked down the very nanosecond people realize, oh, they're literally talking about raping children. As Marty, who is Bro Team Pill, put together in this little tweet archive, the works of 4chan, once again, have identified that a significant number of these people featured in this video are sex offenders. Here we have Keith Aaron Pepper, lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age. Here we have Louis Quadra, lewd or lascivious acts with children under 14 years of age. Here we have Lawrence Friedberg, convicted of lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age. Then there's this fucking guy who's a reindeer. Raymond Gonzalez is a convicted sex offender. So they are coming for your children, I guess, is the lesson here. I'm really glad that we can't even talk about this, really, because if you talk about it, you're going to get banned. If you identify that these people are sex predators, you're going to get banned. And what I really love about this message is something that I wrote about this week, actually. It says here, we will not be threatened, and we will follow legal steps to act on those threats. Since 1969, we have not backed down. And nobody except the extremely oppressed LGBTQIA+ and the extremely oppressed Jewish and black communities in the U.S. have the fucking audacity, tenacity, and sneedacity to reply to these outrage mobs by saying, we will not be threatened, we will follow all legal steps, and we do not back down. Only the oppressed minorities in our country have the sneedacity to say that. But everybody else, oh no, we're being called bad words. Sure, we haven't actually done anything wrong, but we should probably just pull the plug on it. I mean, we don't want to get in trouble by saying bad words on the internet. We better just fucking shut it down as quickly as possible. We don't want to look like bad people. Meanwhile, when the tables are turned and you have actual pedophiles singing about how they're coming for your children, literally word for word, we are coming to convert your children, quote, sex offending pedophiles, they say, sorry, sweetie, but we don't back down. Our method of tolerance is going to trump your Bible and reparative therapy, and violence is not the way. We are communicating with law-enforcement right now. But it drives me fucking crazy, because every time I see something, I just think, like, if the tables were turned, it wouldn't be this way. Like, it's like such a boomer thing to say. Like, if it was the other way, it wouldn't play out like this. Like, yeah, every time. If the races were different, if the races were changed, it wouldn't be this way. If the genders were changed, it wouldn't be this way. If they were trans and the other person wasn't, it wouldn't be this way. If they weren't raping kids, it wouldn't be this way. But it always is that way when you look at it like that. It always is inherently fucking unfair, and yet they claim oppression, yet they get millions and billions of dollars in fucking funds from the government and from non-GM and NGOs and private charity. And they still claim that they are the fringes of society, holding on by a thread that could be taken away at any time. And it frustrates me so much. I wrote an article. I submitted it to Zero Hedge. And I'm going to post it on the Gumroad, which, by the way, has paid me out for the first time. So go gumroad.com/man-at-the-internet. I'm going to post a link to the article there. I also posted it on the Pleroma. But I described how pussified and how fragile our internet is. And I was compelled to make this because yesterday, or the day before, I received an email from DreamHost. And if you don't know, DreamHost is the domain registrar of KiwiFarms.net, and I have been a customer of DreamHost since April 2009. I bought my first ever domain name with DreamHost over 10 years ago, right? About 12 years ago when I was 16. And I've been a customer of them, and they've been with the forum since its inception. I've registered every domain with them pretty much. And they sent me an email saying that you have to move. We're not going to give you a reason why. You violated our terms of service in some vague way. And you have 14 days to get everything off our service, or we will simply delete it after 14 days. So that's a hard one. That's a hard one to throw at me because I have a couple options, and none of them are particularly good. The first one is to move KiwiFarms.net to another domain registrar. And the issue with just doing that and like picking a company at random, like Amazon does domains, Google does domains. There's like 1,001 domain registrars out there I could theoretically move KiwiFarms.net to. The issue with doing that at random is that those registrars could not be as nice as DreamHost and say, you just dumped this fucking hot potato in our lap, and we're not going to give it back to you. We're not going to give you 14 days. We're just deleting it right now. So that would be a risk. And if I put it on something like Google, and then Google says, actually, we're going to delete your entire fucking Google account, including your Google Drive and your cloud VPS stuff and your Gmail account, that's a thing that happens too. And that happened to some 8chan guys and guys involved with TDS and stuff. So I'm afraid to do that. The second option would be I could become my own domain registrar. And that is a thing, but the issue is to become a domain registrar, you need $75,000 of liquidity in your company. You need to pay $3,500 up front, and you have to pay $4,000 annually for the right to be a registrar. And even then, it's not a guarantee that you'll be given permission by ICANN and VeriSign to be a domain registrar. The other option is to put it on Cloudflare. I have significant trust in Cloudflare not to delete my domain randomly because they are also the DDoS mitigator. The issue with putting the domain on Cloudflare, as like 4chan.org is on, is that right now, when the outrage mob is outraged, they complain to both DreamHost and Cloudflare. And Cloudflare can say, like, we only do DDoS mitigation, and DreamHost can say, we only registrar the domain. Putting it on both Cloudflare makes that the only person they can complain to, and it makes it a twice as valuable target. So for the interim, I have moved all the domains that I can, either to the safe ones I'm moving to a different registrar, but the riskier ones associated with locale email and the Kiwi farms, I'm moving to Cloudflare. And this isn't private information. It's something you can look up in 30 seconds if you wanted to. But it concerns me because I really can't keep this up forever. If the domains start getting yanked and the upstream start boycotting me and shit, it's like the sidewalk truly does end. The internet is not, it's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes, right? There are many interlinking tubes. You don't just dump shit on the internet. There are ISPs communicating with each other, and you can really only get information on the internet through the assent of a bunch of different companies. And if any of those companies suddenly decide that they aren't going to do business with you, then you have to replace them or your shit's down. And if enough companies decide that they don't want to do business with you, it's an effect like herd immunity to a disease, right? You have a controversial thing, and by being removed from so many different companies, the internet really can't get messages to and from your servers, even if you have a stable up host or upstream, because you need some peers to connect from point A to point B. So I have concerns, and that's what the article is about. And I'm not trying to be all doom or pilled about it. I try to be very rational and sit down and evaluate things for what they are. But even solutions like just move it to Russia. Well, Russia has its own problems, Russia isn't the end-all be-all, and it has its own local governance. I'm still getting fucking emails from Roskomnadzor about the ho-ho Holocaust. And supposedly, if you want to host in Russia and host something like 2chan, or it's called something else like Dvichka or something in Russian, but if you want that, you have to know people. You have to know people. You have to pay off government officials. You have to be in kosher with the government somehow. And it's just I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. There's a saying by Dwight D. Eisenhower, which is going to be kind of cringe to quote, but it's, whatever America wishes to come to pass in the rest of the world must first come to pass in the heart of America. I don't believe at this point in time that it's possible to offload the responsibility of our freedom of speech and our internet to Russia. If we just yield that and say okay, we're going to put all our controversial sites onto Tor, we're going to dump our internet into Russia and Taiwan and Serbia, then we'll lose it all eventually. It's because it has to be a tooth and nail fight here. We have to be like the San Francisco gay man's choir and say, no, your bullshit is fucking stupid and gay, and we're not gonna fucking do that, and shut the fuck up, we don't care. And Matthew Prince is the guy who owns Cloudflare. And he says that, not in those words, of course. I'm sure he's very nice and polite and says, sorry, we just don't do that without a court order. We have business interests, not censoring people. But Matthew Prince is one guy in Silicon Valley. He's an outlier. He's a significant outlier. And when whatever happens, his company gets bought or he sells it or he retires as CEO, when he is replaced, he's going to be replaced by someone who is not Matthew Prince and is not going to put up with the same kind of problems that Matthew Prince currently does. So we have about 10 years, I would say, to diversify the internet and force companies, either by law or by some other means, force them to just say no. So I'll post the article on Gumroad. It's on my site. I'll post it in the description or whatever the fuck, and you can read it if you want to. I summed it up pretty well just now going over it. But it's an extremely pressing issue, and the DreamHost stuff, I really did not expect DreamHost, after all these fucking years, after Christchurch, after all the shit that they have been dealing with, I did not expect them to go, actually, you know what, we are cowards, and you gotta fuck off now. You're someone else's problem. So, supposedly, the guy who owns Post, another Fediverse node, supposedly he wants to start a domain registrar. And if he wants to help finance a domain registrar and stay anonymous, whatever the fuck, I'll be happy to sign all the paperwork and help set it up and shit. But I don't know, $75,000 is out of my budget. I'm sorry. Like, if I have to choose between taking $75,000 and opening a domain registrar versus, like, putting a down payment on a house in the middle of fucking nowhere and getting an AR-15 so I can shoot at anyone who comes to my house, I'm going with the latter. I'm sorry. I did everything I could, guys. I can't, like, I crowdfund it. Okay, I'll set up a GoFundMe. Please help send Chris to Everfree Northwest, and please help fund my domain registrar so I can buy the inward.net. Thank you. I hate the Antichrist. If I considered joining a cartel, no, I have not. It sounds gay today. I don't know. I think I had pizza today. Maybe I'm still dehydrated. Okay. Next, let's find some uplifting news. Of course. You know what? I'll flip back to this. I don't want to talk about that and have it be like bummer to bummer. So Chantal, just very briefly, I'm not going to do a huge fat lady segment this week. She made a post on her community thing saying, "Hey guys, I'm going through a really rough time and I need a couple days to deal with some difficult things. XO." Followed up by, "My family is taking me to the ER, and I have an appointment tomorrow for addiction help. I'm sorry I had lied to you all. I was in so much denial about having a problem. I will be back and do an update when I'm feeling better." And then they posted this follow-up message saying, oh, jeez, let me get another sip. "Okay. As I am laying in bed, waiting on test results, I need to clear some things up because there are so many lies going around because of reaction channels twisting things and making up stupid conspiracies. Honestly, sure, hate comes with the territory of being a public figure, but I can still observe and say that some people and their comments are vile. I took this pic for proof and not for attention. I don't tell you all my real human problems for attention. Yes, because I love being an addict and I did it all for attention." This is her picture. This is her proof that she is fat and in a hospital for a Coke. Which, by the way, if you missed the thing I talked about last week, she is now addicted to Coke and had a bit of a cry about it on stream. "My weight loss did start with Ozempic." And if you don't remember, she takes Ozempic as a diabetes medication, which has the side effect of reducing your appetite. So she's been losing weight because she doesn't feel hungry anymore. It made me not hungry, so because I didn't address my food addiction, I believe a transfer of addiction occurred. So I did lose a good 50 pounds or so from being on Ozempic and not substance abuse. That is bullshit. If you're taking Coke, you are losing weight. You're losing weight because of it. Because it makes your heart beat faster, raises your metabolism. I will continue to try and maintain weight loss and do it healthier. People saying I don't have a right to say anything about my weight loss because it is from Ozempic have a skewed thinking process. It is a tool like any other weight loss tool. I started using only approximately 2 months ago and not 6 or more. And the reason why she brings that up is because a lot of people are saying that cocaine is not very addictive and you have to be taking it for a long time for it to become addictive. She continues, that is all bullshit and lies, and it is ironic and hypocritical for these moronic reaction channels to accuse me of lying about everything, yet people believe their lies. Okay, there is no trap house on Marrier Ave. People are literally dumb. I pulled over on that street because I was going to Burger King. Nice detective work. I relapsed. I guess people thought she was going to a crack house because she like randomly pulled over her car on the side of the road. I relapsed last night, the day before I did not use, so when all you people thought I did on that one live stream, I hadn't actually that morning. I did the day before, though. I don't owe anyone any information. If I want to keep certain things private from now, I have a right to do so. I don't have to justify myself or to anyone about anything. Believe me, what you want. In the end, this has no impact on my life. Yet she chooses to fucking, whatever, chooses to respond to all this shit. I'm a huge mess right now, but tomorrow is a new day. Today is the current day. But today is a new day. Today I'm choosing to get help and keep trying to work on myself. One day we will Eurobees, which is her term for going to Europe and fucking every guy that will willingly fuck her in the continent. And I will starve all you bitches of using my messy life for content. I came to the ER because I have several medical conditions you all know about. And she goes to the ER like every week, so this isn't like a new phenomenon. Yes, I have been neglecting my health. When you're at your lowest and depressed, blah, blah, blah. I had bad chest pain. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any serious health issues for abusing drugs. I have an appointment with Intake tomorrow and insurance-covered help for addiction. I did not have access to this program as a food addict. I like making numbered lists. If you are here to shame me for whatever reason, I will block you. Someone is barfing and farting in the room next to me. I will be staying with someone, unlucky number, and who the F has the nerve to claim I am faking addiction? So there you go. Haters owned. Foodie Beauty is addicted to cocaine. Don't you dare say otherwise. She is 100% a crack addict. And all the fucking haters making shit up about her and saying she isn't actually totally doing blow and is psychologically addicted to the rush of cocaine can shove it up their ass, those fucking parasites. I just love the mental image of like Chantal calling up her mom and be like, Mom, I dated an Egyptian man and now I'm addicted to cocaine. Can you take me to the doctor? And then her mom just has to be like, okay, I'll be right over. We'll take you to the hospital for your cocaine addiction because you date strange Arabs. And yeah, that's the update with Chantal. I never expected when I made my stream about her like years ago, how different her life would be. Like 2 years later, she went from like, if you don't remember, my favorite thing about her at that point, and I'll just pull up her thread because it's pretty funny. By the way, if you go to Google and type in Kiwi Farms, it treats it like a porn site and doesn't show any suggestion. It does it on YouTube too. Like you can go to YouTube right now, type in Kiwi Farms, and no suggestions will show up. Here, this one right here. Bam. She made a YouTube video called A Spooky Pasta, I think. And the gimmick of her spooky pasta is that she eats a lot of food while she talks about horrific crimes, like cold case files and stuff. So her meal while doing this one was like just like 10 pounds of cheese, like pure cheese. And she sat there scarfing cheese and talking about a bunch of teenage girls that had been brutally slaughtered and whose murderer had never been identified. And she was featured in like a Jezebel article or something as like this fat bitch is like talking about dead teenagers while eating cheese. Isn't that weird? And it was truly the most remarkable thing she had done at that point. So we photoshopped her into the Last Supper, replacing Jesus Christ and putting up a bunch of cheese on the table. And it's something that if there was like a national portrait gallery or a national museum of like the Kiwi farms, it would have to hang in there somewhere because it really is a centerpiece for the whole community. It's possibly the best introduction you could possibly have to Gentile. So, I have not watched this full video, but I will watch it with you now. I have some notes prepared to cover this incident, and we'll just go over the best we can.
We spa, so you don't. So it's okay. I just want to be clear with you. It's okay. It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, we spa, condone that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he could stay there. He could stay there. What sexual orientation? I see a dick. It lets me know he's a man. He's a man. He is a man. He is not no female. He is not a female. He is not a female. Hold on. He is not a female, sweetie. Okay? Girls down there, other women who are highly offended for what they just saw. And you did nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, you sided with him. So We Spa is in agreement with men that just say they are a woman and they can go down there with their penis and get into the women's section. Is that what you're saying? What really? What law? What law? So women can go into the men's with their breasts. Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't come back either. Yeah, get your money back. You got a man with his penis talking about he's a woman. He ain't no woman. Yeah, give her money back.
Are you talking about a transgender person?
There's no such thing as transgender. He has a dick.
Base.
Okay? He has a penis. His penis is hanging out. Okay, no, I'm not one. Actually, I'm a woman who knows how to stand up and speak up for my right. As a woman, I have a right to feel comfortable without a man exposing himself, okay? No, you go somewhere else. Okay, so that's right. No, he's not a transgender. He has a penis, just like you do. Are you? No. Yeah. Okay, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
Okay, that's traumatizing to see that. I'm a woman. I think this is a place right here, I'm told, only for women. So how dare you sit up here and tell me I don't have a right as a woman to defend? I'm telling you, he has a penis, a full and testicles, okay? And I don't care what it's a man. You got one? You're a man, okay?
And if we went into the men's section with our anatomy, that would be...
Well, it would probably, but you might not like women, so it might not, okay? And we don't know. But for me and for a lot of other women, they do not feel comfortable, and it's not okay. Okay? So, well, yeah, you're sorry. You should be, sweetie. And you're out of alignment. And this is not right. I can tell you that much. All right? And I know you're out of order. Yeah, it must be hard. It must be hard not being a real man, huh? Try it. So, like I said, I want every woman get all of their information. Okay, well, I don't care what the security guard. He's just security.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Sometimes predators go down and we'll just go through the women's side.
Okay, well, no, he's sitting in there. Okay, well, security.
No. He doesn't want to be.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying he should have not been allowed to. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We know that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
No,
so.
we knew that.
I'm telling you, Tariq Nasheed, you just have to take one step back and stop blaming white people. We can work something out. I have faith for a mixed race America. Well, not like blended America. You can have Louisiana. You'll like the Indians can get North Dakota. We'll take South Dakota. Keep Louisiana. Keep Washington D.C. and Maryland. We'll have Virginia. We can divvy this up. We can find a way to make this work, Tariq Nasheed and Black Lady from this video. We just have to take a step back and negotiate this and find the real enemy to figure this whole post-Civil War mess out. We just never figured this out all the way. Because this is very inspiring. The Asian lady or the Asian guy behind the counter was like, we really can't do too much about this because of local law, because this is in California, where I'm just gonna say, if you live in California right now, fuck you, I hate you. Like, if you're not like a farmer, I guess if you're like a farmer it sucks, but you should be advocating for the 6 Californias. Google 6 Californias. You have to break that shit up. We can make it work. Here's my plan for the 6 Californias. First, we give Louisiana to the black people, and Maryland to the black people, and D.C. to the black people. We'll concede that to the black people. North Dakota and New Mexico to the Indians. Then we'll find a way to split California up 6 ways, so that we'll have 12 new senators, or 10 new senators on top of the existing 2, and we'll make sure that they create 3 Republican and 3 Democrat states, and we'll just be perfect. We'll figure this out. No big deal. We'll make a deal. We'll negotiate. I'm a great negotiator, best negotiator, love to negotiate. I wrote the art of the deal. I can figure this out. Just send me in there. I'll make 6 Californias and sell Louisiana to the black people. We'll figure this out. Trust me. Vote for me. Who gets Alaska? That is white, and that is Orthodox too. You can't go there if you're Catholic. You have to be Orthodox, or you can be Inuit. The Inuits are allowed there too, but only in Fairbanks. Okay, there's more to this. So Black Lady, I'm a terrible negotiator. So Black Lady goes to Reddit, and Black Lady says, "Oh, hell no. I didn't come here to see no dick. Y'all fucking crazy. White people be fucking tripping. I'm out. Peace." And the soy boy comes up and says, "Sir, ma'am, excuse me. You can't do that." Where is this at? Oh, him. So this guy is like a literal soy boy from like Portland, who I guess takes trips to nude Korean spas, I guess. The meme macro says, "If your daughter didn't want to see penis, she shouldn't have been in the women's restroom." Oh, very inspiring words. I wanted to pull up this article from LA Mag, because this is in Los Angeles, of course. Ian Miles Chong retweeted this, which is how it gained traction. WeSpa put out a comment, or rather not WeSpa. WeSpa isn't the only similar space that's had balance accommodating both cis customers and trans customers in various stages of their transition. A rep for Century Day and Night Spa on Olympic Boulevard recalls a similar situation just before the pandemic shut them down in spring 2020, in which a trans woman, quote, "with everything reflected female on her driver's license," caused an uproar among cisgender female clients by exposing male genitals in the female pool and lockers. She wouldn't really use the spas. She just sat at the corner of the pool with her... the little brackets are indicating that the person working at the spa chose to use male pronouns, but when they published this on lamag.com, they decided to make them female pronouns for the comfort of the viewer. At the corner of the... That's a great way. That's like a new brackets, by the way. You can, if you are feeling uncomfortable but are in a censored area, just do the brackets. We'll do like, "She is really great. And people will know. People will just know exactly what you mean by the quotation replacement brackets. That's our new system. It's like the new triple parentheses. With her feet in the water and her legs spread, or... Okay, so this is describing what the customer would do, the transgender customer. She, brackets, wouldn't really use the spas. She just sat at the corner of the pool with her feet in the water and her legs spread, or took front-facing showers, the rep recalls. People began to feel uncomfortable. It became very disruptive. When the spa finally confronted her, she was adamant that the spa should attempt to normalize young girls and women viewing male genitalia. Typically, says the rep, transgender people are very mindful of not only their own comfort, but the comfort levels of people around them. This person was not respectful. In a statement to Los Angeles about this weekend's incident, We Sport points to California Civil Code 51B, which makes discriminating against trans and other gender nonconforming people in business establishments illegal in the state. Like many other metropolitan areas, Los Angeles contains a transgender population. That's a very telling statement. Like many other metropolitan areas, Los Angeles contains a transgender population, some of whom enjoy visiting a spa. So, this is the person in question, by the way, Precious Child, who is an artist. An artist. Is it a artist or an artist? I would say a artist, because you're saying R instead of a, right? So it would be a artist. She's an artist. No, you do say an. Okay, I'm retarded. Don't listen to me. I speak half a language. Here's Zur Art. I'll pause it. Truly a beautiful specimen. I can only imagine, just imagine that you're like a mother and you're like, oh, you know what? You don't even have to imagine. I have another video for that. So that's the person in question who upset the black lady. So what happened after that was then there was a little bit of a tizzy, and Antifa, hallowed be their name, decided we're going to set up a little protest in support of trans rights at the spa so that trans people know that they matter and we love them, right? So they did, and here's some clips of that from the We Spa protest.
You ignorant motherfucker. There is no link. You ignorant motherfucker. You need to do some learning y'all wanted to come out here and y'all wanted to fucking spread that bullshit. Don't get too spread out. Don't get too spread out. Don't get too spread out. Don't get too cocky, motherfucker. You're gonna get your ass knocked out. Don't get too fucking cocky.
So when you dare say anything critical of what they believe, they will physically assault you and chase you down the street in a pack of like 20 people, which is very democratic. As the gay choir says, that's perfectly okay, but only when we do it.
What am I doing? Get the fuck out of here! I just told you, keep walking! Keep walking! Get the fuck out!
So they have like black mask and black clothing and black like face covers and black umbrellas, and when people are like recording what's happening, they like shove that shit in their face and then literally physically assault them to get them away, which is kind of base because it's a journalist, but on the other hand, it's very cowardly. God, look at the biceps on that woman. She's so strong. They must be putting testosterone in the water to make the women masculine. White boy. White boy alert. Opinions don't matter alert.
Only Jesus to heaven. You're gonna get hurt. Let him turn around and walk.
So black guy, so they're backing up, they're literally retreating, and then black guy, Antifa, shoves this guy who just says, like, Jesus is the only way to heaven. What the fuck, bitch?
Let him turn around and walk. You don't want to be here. Go time to leave. Fuck you and your fucking hate. Get the fuck.
Another guy, look at it right there. He like hits him with something from behind, like literally from behind. The most cowardly fucking way ever.
Get the fuck out.
If you live in the city, you're a fucking retard. If you live in California, you're a retard. You should not live in these places. You should not live in the city. You should not live around these people. Like, they should, if you run a business in Los Angeles, you're fucking retarded. I don't feel bad for these people. Like, why are you in this hellhole? It's like me going to Mogadishu to, like, protest trans rights or something. And then, like, oh my God, why are people in Mogadishu, Somalia, so mean to me? It's like, because you're in their shithole. And they're very protective of their shithole and their and their way of life, and they don't want you around them. Get the fuck out of Mogadishu if you don't want to be set on fire. Anyways, so one of the results of this is that this woman, who I assume is a TERF or something, a horrible TERF, shows up, and they decide to give her a red armband by stabbing her in the fucking arm. And that's very peaceful. That's very functional society thing going on there. Here are these. Oh, this is the same clip. This is the people, the Jesus preachers, when they were still, before they were being chased out. This is just arguing. Oh, here, that's when they start punching. I cut too soon. Damn. Why is it not working now? Are you fucking kidding me? Is this tweet gone? There we go. Yeah. Yeah, peace and tolerate them. Aggressively peace and tolerate them. Don't take a gun with you. If you're gonna get fucking, if they shot these people, even if they were being assaulted and feared for their lives, if they shot any of these fucking people, you don't have to stand your ground in California. You just go to fucking pee-pee poo-poo rape dungeon for the rest of your fucking life. In L.A. Imagine being stuck for the rest of your life in L.A. There is no, just kill me, just fucking hang me. But they don't, in the U.S. we don't hang people anymore because death is a release, and we want people to suffer in poo-poo pee-pee rape dungeons in L.A. for the rest of your life. We want to give you medical care just so that you live longer and suffer more as a pee-pee poo-poo prisoner in LA.
Are you pushing women, you fucking coward? Oh.
Well, the only way, you gotta live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, away from these cities, and you have to have like 87 children so you can outpopulate these retards. It's the only way forward. So, what is the local community of this Koreatown? How does it feel? Well, the neighborhood council executive vice president is this very strong-looking woman named Jamie Penn. She's not Asian, but somehow represents Koreatown. But maybe she's a strong type, and maybe she wants to defend the women in her society. Oh no, she's a communist transgender person. So Koreatown elects communist transgender people to their neighborhood watch. This is why I don't feel bad for them. They voted for this. Those Korean people had the option to vote for like Koreans that aren't retarded, but no. Good luck. This is Jamie Penn. I think you actually, let me go back. I noticed this person right here in this 10-second video, who's tearing up the video, who I said has masculine fucking arms. I'm pretty sure that is the same exact dress over here. So there we have the neighborhood president of Koreatown protesting a small business in Koreatown personally, just flexing those guns out there, tearing up signs and shit to show support for the community that they've been democratically elected to represent. Imagine that. So there's lots of people, lots of responses to this. I'll just read some. I have a big list of things here. I'm not going to throw all of them up on the screen, but this one's from Zinnia Jones, who I've talked about before. TERFs are so mad about this because being a good parent is entirely foreign to them. Cis people are the ones bringing 9-year-olds to a clothing optional bath. It's not even known if there were any children or their parents present, or even a trans woman at all, or just one loud jackass making shit up for grifter clout. Imagine being pissed off when you find out you have the option of just not staring at people's genitals. Turfy brainworms. If it did happen, I don't care, and I hope it happens again. TERFs get hilariously mad when they show a picture or a video of another TERF getting physically assaulted as a gotcha, like, wow, you want this to happen? Meanwhile, I'm sitting here hoping the video clip ends with her being violently beheaded. Yes, bitch, I do want y'all dead. Local female Nazi thinks punching and killing Nazis is reserved for male Nazis only because being a woman Nazi makes you not as bad as a Nazi, you see. So, violently execute people who disagree with me. Wonderful. Here is another video. Actually, before I read this, I will read some of my other messages. 1 second. Anita Zarkeesian weighs in. I will forever and always stand with trans women and all trans people to live fully realized, respected, and safe lives. Fuck TERFs, fuck the Proud Boys, fuck all transphobes. The anti-trans violence and hate happening in and around Wi Spa is horrifying. Spinning the narrative to be about protecting children is the classic right-wing / TERF talking points meant to dehumanize and degrade trans people, especially trans women. To everyone who came out in support of our trans community, thank you. We protect us from SoCal Antifa. Oh, and now the big narrative is that it didn't happen at all. So even though there are 2 women there, neither of them white, by the way, a black woman and a Korean woman wanting refunds because they were sexually assaulted, basically, by a penis in a female-only spa area. So curious about the Wi Spa incident, women yelling on camera about a trans woman having a penis out at children. No trans woman in the video, no evidence. Of course there's not in the fucking video. You can't take a fucking video into a fucking spa room where people are naked, you retard. Holy shit, that's a... No trans woman in the video, no evidence anyone else had seen a trans woman doing this. No one present taking the first woman into the video seriously. Most weirdly, the alleged trans woman accused of doing this doesn't even exist after the video, except we know who they are. They're talking about it. They're having a GoFundMe open right now, and it's very easy to find them because they're like a public figure, like trans singer. This video is entirely conducted by yelling at staff and an argument with a random cis man whose picture is now being used as the trans woman, but clearly isn't. You say that. It clearly isn't. Based on what? Based on his male-presenting features? That's extremely transphobic. Some respectable transsexual sisters of high distinction. Oh my god, that sounds like a fucking communist title. Like someone in the DPRK would be called the respectable transsexual sisters of high distinction in some alternate timeline. Have been quick to condemn the possible imagery, possibly imaginary trans woman who one day might be led to believe basically a sexually assaulted a child, but no such figure exists to condemn so far. There may or may not have been a trans woman in the spa. Also, we should be allowed to use spas without being attacked. Also, if there was a trans woman in the spa, it wasn't the lady they're attacking now. Lie after lie after lie. And to reiterate, from minus PLNP, top 69% OnlyFans, ew. And to reiterate, none of the initial claims of transphobes about We Spa have ever been substantiated. No evidence there was ever a trans person at all. No evidence anyone behaved inappropriately. No evidence from anyone except a conservative Christian blogger. And then Commie Dick Girl weighs in, and I'll just stop there. That's the gist of it. Yeah, get out of LA. Like, I don't know. I don't think many people listening to this live in LA, but get out. Like, what are you doing? Get out of the city in general. Like, go live in a shithole $50,000 house, a manufactured home in the middle of fucking nowhere. You will be happier. If you get bored, go to church or something. I don't know. Go shooting at the gun range. You don't have to live in a city. Jeff Bezos will be able to airdrop a fucking care package into your front yard like it's Call of Duty, full of groceries and dragon dildos within the next 10 years. You can be in the middle of fucking Montana or New Mexico or Nevada. There will be an Amazon delivery drone coming to you soon, so you won't even miss out on the convenience of the city for very long. Okay, one more video from this lady. I'll let her talk for a couple minutes. This video is 9 minutes long. I won't play all of it. And I will play it a little bit faster.
Going on, because this happened to me. In January of 2020, I thought it would be cute to take my daughter on a spa day. So we went to We Spa in Koreatown. It's on Wilshire and...
also, rule. If you are in LA and you're listening to this and you're currently on Realtor.com trying to find your new manufactured dream home in the middle of, like, whatever fucking state, don't ever mention that you're from LA, because if my neighbor ever tells me that they're from LA, I'm going to bury them, because they are poison. So you have to keep it a secret. It's like if you got fucked in the ass by a man. You can never tell, like, your wife that you got fucked in the ass, because she will never, ever respect you the rest of your life. You have to keep that a dead secret inside you.
Well, let me just show some of the pictures I have here. So this is my daughter. I blocked her face, obviously. She's got the little yellow We Spa shirt on, and she's got a little stuffed animal there. So she was 6 years old at the time. And then this is both of us, and she's got her little We Spa shirt. So 6 years old. And this is a Korean family spa, so there's children there all the time. This is the children's section at We Spa. They have like a whole little playroom, and so this is her in the little playroom. So that was in January of this year. And like I said, it's a Korean spa, so everyone's naked. And I wanted to be kind of culturally with it, so
I don't know if I can turn up the volume.
We're nude in the women's side of the spa, and there's little girls who are naked with their older Korean grandmas who are naked, and the women's section has like hot tubs and like massage areas, and everyone's nude. And this is my first time, and like I said, I was kind of uncomfortable, but I was like, okay, well, this is how they do it, and we were trying to kind of have the experience. So we got into the hot tub, my little 6-year-old daughter and I, and we're having a great time. We're in there with other women, when a person, I guess, with a penis and a beard came over with two girlfriends. They appeared to me to be lesbians with tattoos and colored hair, and they appeared, the three of them, to be kind of progressive activist types. They came in with kind of an entitled attitude, and they sat down on the edge of the hot tub where I was with my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, who was naked. And the person with the penis sat down on the edge of the hot tub with just fully on display, with his genitals fully on display. And so me and the other women in the hot tub kind of looked each other in the eye, and we just kind of made this face like, what the heck? And we're motioning to my daughter, I'm motioning to my daughter, and the women in the hot tub are like, I know, what the hell? And we were just uncomfortable, and I was trying to block my daughter from seeing the penis on the person with the 5 o'clock shadow, who was not trying to look like a woman at all. And we got out of the hot tub, And I walked away, and I thought I spoke to like a different woman, and this other woman said, you know, they spoke to this person about covering up, but they refused, and I felt kind of horrified. I could see like the older Korean ladies peeking out from behind the kind of panels of the showers, trying to cover themselves up with a towel. All the women were uncomfortable. No one wanted to say anything. Everyone in LA is pretty progressive. I'm a registered Democrat. I've been to gay pride.
It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. You voted for this. It's your fault.
This is different. My daughter's 6 years old, and she was like nude, and this person wasn't making any attempts to look like a woman whatsoever. They walked in with the most entitled attitude, almost like spreading their legs on purpose, with these two other very progressive, activisty looking women into a Korean spot. It's really, really, really Korean too. They didn't care about making the old Korean ladies uncomfortable. They just walked in almost hoping someone would say something. So
look, we need to get the message out there. This is why, oh, sorry, I have my fan on. I'm blowing right in. Sorry, I'm so hot. I'm so hot right now, and I'm trying my best to be a good podcast boy and not have the fan blown into my fucking microphone, but here I am. We have to save women from themselves and tell them, look, I know that you have natural maternal instincts. I know that you are empathetic to a fault, and you look at people and you think, there is some good in this person. There is good in all people. But there isn't. Everyone is awful, and the only people that you can count on are your own family, and even then, on a good day. So stop voting for socialism because you're voting to take money out of the hands of providing men so that you can put them in the hands of pathetic people who just want to sexually assault children in spas. We can do this. I believe in us. We can do this in one generation. It takes one generation to flip this around and make it so that everyone's not so fucking retarded. And it's happening already before our eyes. Don't be black-pilled. You have to fight the black pill. You have to play even if things are hopeless, you know what? You can't act like they're hopeless. Because if you act like they're hopeless, then even if it's not hopeless, it will be hopeless because you've acted as if you've already lost. If you've already lost and you act like you haven't already lost, then all that happens is you lose still. But if you haven't already lost and you act like you have already lost, then you will lose. So you must be in denial, and you must look at the bright side and always find a fighting path, because the alternative is to basically kill yourself. That is my my Sam Hyde lecturing moment for the day. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything, chat? Acceleration is the only way. No, it's not. Fuck off. Stop being gay. They want. YMS thinks that's really funny. I'm sure he does. He's gay. I mean, I don't know what to say. I like YMS's reviews. I think that he makes entertaining videos, but at the end of the day, he is a non-reproductive, and the non-reproductives all go into a third category, which are separate from the separate but equal categories of the reproductives. You know, that's all, the only way. Like, I can like him. I can say, like, I like your content. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but you are different from the first two categories, and I will always treat you differently. K's bingo. Not today. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. No. I think that's it. I have a random SoundCloud song that I'm gonna play just because it's incidentally funny. I wish there was a better way to end this. I feel lost. I feel like I've forgotten something. What did I promise? Did I promise a K's video today? Did I? Okay. I think I did. I think you're right. I think there's a video I missed. I'll check real quick. We'll watch 1K. I know some people don't like the K, but Oh God. Did we watch the pasta and beans? Because that's the last one that was posted. I think we watched the pasta and beans one. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there is another K's video to watch that we haven't already watched. Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. There is no new K. The next time a new K is out, I will definitely play it for you. I promise. If I did promise it last week, that was a lapse in judgment. I have failed you. I apologize, but I will make it up to you eventually. And I feel so bad. I feel like there's something I'm really, really missing right now, and it's driving me fucking crazy. Nothing's happened on the forum front because the only thing that's happened is that the guy that had the carbonation grimace, the guy who committed arson against his like psychiatrist office, he's still posting on the forum. I don't know how the fuck he made bail or whatever from like first degree arson of a business address, but he's back on the forum and he's still posting and talking about his carbonation grimace and shit, which is fucking weird. Fuentes is banned from Twitter. I mean, did Fuentes... Oh my God, these people are such fucking idiots. I don't understand this logic. Fuentes had all the time in the world to set up AmericaFirst.social or whatever the fuck, AmericaFirst.cc and get the Fediverse up. Sticks and Hammer has all the time in the world. Sargon has all the time in the world. But while they have access to platform A, they never set up platform B to fall back on. Did he have a fucking, a fallback? Too much. Yeah, it's just stupid, man. It's so dumb, and you can scream at these people like we have working alternatives that you can set up on with minimal expense. Like Donald Trump, there's the whole Getter shit and Getter like banning neo-Nazis and shit after immediately coming out the gate saying we support free speech, guys. But really, fucking Baron Trump could have a little kid could have set up a Fediverse node on some bullshit for no money at all. A kid could have figured it out, and Donald Trump could have said, I've set up this new great thing. It's called the Trumpverse. It's a huge deal, and everyone can go on trumpspeak.il, and they can talk to people all over the world and join the Trumpaverse. And from that day on, it would just be called the Trumpaverse, and everyone would assume that the Trumpaverse was made by Trump, and everyone would think it was a great fucking thing. But none of these people do their research. They try to make a fucking clone, a centralized clone on existing bullshit, and it sucks, and it doesn't work, and then they're surprised, oh, my shit got shut down. I wonder how that happened, guys. Oh well. Thank you for joining me. I have nothing more to say. I'm sorry I don't have case cooking. I'm sorry that the end of the stream has just been like, wait, I'm pretty sure I forgot something, but I can't think of anything. My article is out. I'm going to post it on Gumroad, gumroad.com/manattheinternet. Manattheinternet.com is back up. KiwiFarms.cc is back up. The attackers seem to have stopped. I had to spend a week straight fucking dealing with the mitigation, but it's over for now. I'm setting up something stronger, more secure, going forward that should allow me to mitigate attacks even better. And I hope that my shit isn't kicked in randomly, because that would suck. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Here's a random song. I didn't have anything picked out. Bye-bye. I don't have a Twitter. KiwiFarms.cc/Josh. Fuck off.
We're tuning in, spaced out, that's why we do it.
We